Welcome to Cover Habit number 2. This is my last video for tonight. Because it's just at the midnight. I'm going to go to sleep after I post these videos. So, if you're not up to speed, there's been a frack ton of crap that's been going on with our protesting for George Floyd. May God rest his soul. Now, there have been some videos that I've watched on YouTube, and they're really chalking this dude, yo. They're like cutting him down left, right, and sideways. And like I said when I talked about Miss Owens, I don't know Miss Owens from Adam and Eve, and I did not know Mr. Floyd from Adam and Eve, and I don't care about that. What I care about is the facts that this man, whether he was a saint or not, was literally murdered on the streets by a badge, and other badges were watching, As a martial artist, it destroys me to know that someone used something that us martial artists were trained to do many, many years ago, back in the 80s and 90s, as I was coming up, I learned certain martial art tactics, and because I'm only 5'3", I have not been afraid to use these tactics. I know about the rear neck and choke. I know about the knee to the neck, because if you've watched any of my videos, which I probably have offended people now, but I'm going to go ahead and offend you again because it's what I do. I have told people one simple, true fact about martial arts and fighting. If a person cannot breathe, they cannot hurt you. That is like my motto in life. I'm not changing my policy. I'm not changing my motto because a young man lost his life. But what I'm saying is, I know right from wrong. I know that to put my knee in someone's neck would be a last resort. It would be like, if that's the only thing I had that I could use to stop a person, that would be that. Now, as we know, I've made a few videos, and I watched a few videos, and I made a few more videos, and I watched a few more videos about racism and the good protesters versus the looters and things like that. And we have them. We have them running around like chickens with their heads cut off. I'm going to go make me some popcorn in a minute. But I wanted to make this video first. We as people have an obligation to take care of each other. We as people have an obligation to not go around murdering each other, because it doesn't really solve any problems. Now, as a martial artist, I will tell you straight up and down, martial arts is also supposed to be a last resort. I took martial arts because I didn't really have a choice. I was street fighting, and I needed to get better so that no one could beat me, which worked out in my favor. As a martial artist now, I'm looking at how the world is working, and I'm thinking, life can be taken from you in the blink of an eye. And on the side note of them saying that Mr. Floyd is not a saint or a good person or whatever, and they talked about him having a criminal record, and they're talking about this, and they're talking about why he shouldn't be a martyr to the cause or whatever. Okay, two things. One, no one said he was a martyr. What he was a person whose death made people open their eyes more, which we should have been more open to this when this happened to Trayvon Martin. We should have been more open when it happened to the young black woman. We should have been more open when it happened to the very first guy who got put in a chokehold by cops up in New York. And maybe we should have been open to this way back in the civil rights movement, when people were getting beaten and people were getting sprayed by water hoses, and everybody who was involved in the civil rights movement were trying to do peaceful protesting. And maybe if we had been aware of all of that back then, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would still be alive today. He'd be old, but he'd still be alive. Now, they're giving Mr. Floyd the presidential treatment, regardless of his past, regardless of his sins. And one thing we have to remember, that we all have sinned. There is not one person here on this planet under the age of 7 years old that has not wronged somebody on some level or another, willingly. This man didn't deserve to die, no matter what his past was. Not for wronging someone. Now, a video I watched earlier today said that he robbed a pregnant woman at gunpoint. I'm not gonna slander this dude because I don't know if that's just true. A video I watched today has said that he was on drugs. Again, I can't confirm that shit. I don't know this guy. You know, again, I don't care about any of that because the man died at the hands of law enforcement. We didn't go through this much hell when the law enforcement handcuffed and shackled a dude and put him in a truck and he died. This was one of the straws that broke the camel's back. And though we're trying to mend everything, we can't mend everything if peaceful protesters have looters inside doing evil. So I want to end this video on this. To you peaceful protesters, as a veteran of the United States Army National Guard, I salute you for protesting peacefully. To you looters, you jackasses, you stupid bastards, you people who are destroying innocent people's livelihood. You're destroying hair salons, you're destroying beauty shops, you're destroying barber shops, grocery stores. You're destroying black people-owned businesses too. How can black lives or any lives matter to you if you're fucking up their dreams and their hopes and keeping them from having a successful life because you, the looter in disguise as a protester, need to go home? Stop causing problems. You're not helping anybody by burning down buildings, by throwing bricks at people, by causing problems and putting law enforcement on notice to make them do better by making things worse for the protesters. Now, I watched a video earlier on either Entertainment Tonight or The Night Show with Lester Holt, where they had two lawyers who were arrested with Molotov cocktails. For those who don't know what that is gasoline in a bottle, you set it on fire, you throw it, and it burns stuff up. To those lawyers, really? You're lawyers. You know better. Granted, you might be great lawyers. You may be getting disbarred really soon if they can prove that it was Yall's. They definitely got the woman, because I could see right with that bandana on her face, yeah, she's in trouble. She may be getting disbarred. She may never practice law again in the lower 50 states. Then again, if she's a good lawyer, she may be able to get off. To the black lawyer, what the hell were you thinking? This is a black protest for peace, and you are a lawyer. We need more black lawyers. Why would you fucking even consider doing something this stupid? I got nothing for you, other than that was a dick move. Now, in the words of Iron Man, you're a lawyer and you need to go to sleep and think about what you've done. To the rest of y'all, please protest peacefully. If you're going to have Black Lives Matter, make sure that they matter. Which means don't go destroying black people's businesses. In fact, don't destroy anybody's businesses. If they're white, if they're Asian, if they're Mexican, stop destroying shit. That's not peaceful. That's the opposite of peace. That's chaotic. We don't need any more chaotic in our life. Don't you see that you're making it worse? And for you Black Lives Matters and All Life Matter protesters, weed these people out, or it's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. This is Comfort Habit number 2. Be seeing you.